You are Locked On Bruins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Fours up, Bruin Nation. What is going on? And welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On UCLA POSTCAST. Coming at you live, as always, after every single UCLA football game, right here live on the Locked On UCLA YouTube channel and after the fact, wherever you get the Locked On UCLA audio podcast feed. If you don't know who the heck I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Covered this UCLA football team, also men's and women's basketball for 4 years with the Daily Bruin. I've interviewed players, been in the press boxes at the Rose Bowl and other stadiums. I covered this team. I went to this university, graduated a year and a half ago. I grew up loving this program. So yeah, I know a lot about UCLA football from a lot of different angles, but above all else, I'm a fan of this program just like all of you, and I am pissed off just like all of you. Shout out to everybody in here. As always, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. Let's not waste any time. A lot to talk about on this show because Zach has been holding it down on this channel in terms of talking about the UCLA head coach search. I have my opinions. I think he's been doing an unbelievable job, bringing in people from other programs, talking about their coaches. I'm going to let him handle that. Obviously, we're going to talk about this game briefly. UCLA falls 14-17 against Northwestern, looking like 0-12, a real possibility. But after the break, I want to talk about everything the national media is saying about UCLA football and why a lot of it is a bunch of baloney, why a lot of it is wrong, and what actually needs to happen for UCLA football to return to the promised land. But shout out to everybody in here. And without further ado, we do have to talk about the failed comeback for UCLA.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Nico this, Nico that. I get it. He's the face of this downfall for UCLA. He is the scapegoat, especially after Deshaun Foster is fired. But Nico, is he the reason UCLA falls to 0-4, losing to Northwestern? Heck no. Now, was he good? I don't really know. He had a couple good scampers. It's pretty disgraceful that UCLA has been reduced to Nico scramble or bust. It's pretty disgraceful, right? No one expected this team to come out and light Northwestern on fire, even though we are more talented than Northwestern, even though we have a better quarterback, we have a better running back, we have a better talented roster overall. The moral of the story is this offensive line is where I'm starting. They are so bad. They are so bad. Like, they are the reason this team is probably going to lose every game. No offense to the people on the offensive line, but you're terrible, right? UCLA, they fall behind 17-0. We'll talk about that being the other big issue. But you fall behind, you come all the way back, you have an opportunity, you start inside your 10 with, a couple minutes to go. And how does the drive start? It starts with a handoff, read option, RPO, whatever you want to call it, a big part of this scheme. I don't care if it's an RPO, a play action, a QB run. None of it works if the offensive line is terrible, right? And that play got blown up. The 3 and out inside the 10 looked like the game was over. Fortunately, the defense gets a stop, right? This is a Northwestern team that stinks. I don't want to put it any other way. I know they beat us. Guess what? We stink too, but this team stinks. They have a 3rd and short trying to put the game away, and instead of just running the ball down our throats like they did all game, 42 carries for 199 yards. All they needed was a 43rd carry for about 5 yards, and they would have put the game on ice there. No, they pass it. We get a sack. We get another opportunity. But guess what? Despite Nico with a good throw here or there, the offensive line is brutal. There's sacks, there's scrambles, there's broken plays. There's a nice throw where Nico gets hit as he throws it, completes a pass, gets a first down. None of it matters because we take a costly sack. The clock runs out. There's delay of games. There's false starts. There's whatever. It's just disjointed. It's horrible. It starts up front. Whoever the new coach is, as much as I want this team to, put points on the board in entertaining ways, we want to fill up the Rose Bowl. I don't care about any of that at this point. It has to start at the offensive line. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad. That's that. That's why the comeback fell short, because you don't have an offensive line. Now, what's the thing that can't keep happening for UCLA football the rest of this season? Whether they win a single game, whether they lose every game, still, there's one thing that can't keep happening. You cannot keep falling behind by 14 points, by 20 points every single game. It's the reason Deshaun had to go. He's a culture hire. He's not an X's and O's guy. He's a culture hire. And the culture that was created was falling behind 14-0 every game, whether it was last year or this year. Well, guess what? Deshaun's gone. Tim Skipper, similar type of guy, right? He's not an X's and O's guy. He's a go and be excited and shake every reporter's hand guy and get the team fired up. Well, guess what getting the team fired up brought us? It brought us another 17-0 deficit. So the rest of the season, obviously, you would like to win a game. You don't want to have the most embarrassing season in program history, going 0-12 with all of the media attention that was already brought on us, with Nico coming over, with all the media attention that's been on us for a couple of years after the move to the Big Ten. It would be so embarrassing to go 0-12. But I've kind of accepted that's a real possibility. I really have. What we cannot have is we cannot have this team down 17-0 every single football game. Like, at least make UCLA fans, the few that are going to sit and watch this game, at least let them sit there the whole game and have something to watch, right? I'm sitting here watching this game, and we have a fake punt in the first half to convert a first down where it's 2nd and 1, and you can't even do it on 2nd and 3rd down. You need a fake punt to get the first down. And you tell me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sitting there going, this is embarrassing. Even then when we get a first down, it's embarrassing that we need a fake punt to get a first down against Northwestern with 10,000 people in the stands. And guess what? We got nothing from it. We're still down 14-0. We're still down 17-0. You got to learn how to start a game decently well. I'm not asking you to go out and upset Ohio State, upset Penn State, upset Indiana. But man, can you at least be in a game where it's 10-7 at halftime? Can you at least be in a game where it's 3-0 UCLA and then the other team scores 21 unanswered? And that's why it's not just about getting the right hire, because obviously you want this team to eventually make CFPs and compete for conference titles. I need the right hire to at least make this team come out and be competitive, right? Like, come on. The expectations are so low. Just be competitive. That's all we're asking for. But when you fall down 17-0, when there's a turnover on downs in the second quarter after 2 punts in the first quarter, you have a 3-and-out after you fall behind 3-0. You have a 14-play drive where it's all for nothing. You have a 12-play drive that ends with nothing at halftime, right? It takes you 12 plays to go get 3 points. You're down 17-0. It felt like one team understood that this was 2 teams playing for nothing, right? Like, Northwestern was going out there. They had a 4th and 4 on, I believe, the first drive at midfield, and they just aired one out for a deep ball. I believe it was the first drive. Yeah. 4th and 4 at UCLA's 31. How about a 20-yard pass? Like, come on. Northwestern scores their first touchdown to go up at the time 9-0. And they do the Oregon crud where they spread it out. They've got this weird formation just to see what UCLA was going to do. Then they bring everyone back in and just kick the extra point, right? Northwestern was disrespecting UCLA. They were looking at us and going, this team is absolutely disgraceful, and we are going to try to embarrass them. We're going to go for it on 4th and 4. We're going to make it look like we're doing fake extra points to start the ball game, to go up 11-0. This is the type of things that Chip Kelly and Oregon were doing, that Pete Carroll and USC used to do when they're up 21-0 on teams. These weird fake, field goal formations and stuff. We're letting Northwestern do that to us. Like, come on, have some pride. Make it 10-10 at halftime. Do something. We showed a little bit of pride in the second half where you scored 2 touchdowns. Nico with a great deep ball for a touchdown. I thought the play that summed up the Nico UCLA experience was very early in the game. There's a deep ball to Titus. He's running a deep post across the middle, and Nico kind of gets hit as he throws it, and he also completely misses the throw. And I'm sitting there watching it with my family, and I'm like, is that on Nico? Is that on the line? Is it on both? It's on everybody, right? At the end of the day, it's on everybody. Should the throw from Nico have been better? Yeah, probably. Is it a throw that, a 2-star at an FCS program supposed to make? No. Is it a throw that $1 million quarterback at UCLA is supposed to make? Maybe. But at the same time, he's getting hit as he throws. The offensive line can't block anybody to save their lives, and the ball flails on the opposite side of Titus's shoulder, not inside the safety. It's thrown to the outside, incomplete pass, punt the ball. You can't score a point in the first half. So, or until the field goal at the end of the half. But the moral of the story is everything stinks. Everything stinks. The coaching stinks. The players stink. Even though it's a talented roster, they're underperforming, and it's just, the state of the program is a disaster. That's why, I know this is a post-game show. We're supposed to be talking about the show, but after the break, I'm talking about the program, okay? And like I said, I'm going to let the coaching things be handled by Zach. He's been doing an unbelievable job. But from someone who is a recent student, I just graduated from the school. You can see the degree and the sash right there. I just graduated from this school a month and a half ago. So I was in the student section for 4 years. I was also covering this team as a journalist for 4 years. There are things that the national media is missing and getting wrong about UCLA football, and I'm going to talk about them after our break here on another losing edition of the Locked On UCLA POSTCAST. I'll be right back. Now, today's show is brought to you by Mazda. Now, look, you can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there. You can choose your people. You can choose to go for it, like really go for it. Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda, move and be moved. Today's show also brought to you by DoorDash. It's almost the weekend. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it matters most. Let's break it down. I'm going to talk about the Illinois SC game because the only exciting thing for UCLA this weekend is that USC lost. How about Luke Altmaier delivering for the Fighting Illini of Illinois? 20 of 26, 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. Despite his running backs doing everything they could to lose this game with 2 fumbles inside the 5, he still was darn impressive through the air. Also able to get 5 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. So 3 touchdowns, almost 400 total yards for him as Illinois able to knock off SC. You absolutely love to see it. And that's why, he delivered in a big way for the Fighting Illini. And just like he delivered, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays. With DoorDash Streaks, you save every Saturday you order. Stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply, and the promo period is through November 18th. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. I love how the system offers real-time strength coaching. It actually tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, and corrects your form, making every rep safer and smarter. And the swivel screen is a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Back here live on another losing edition of the Locked On UCLA Postcast. UCLA 14, Northwestern 17. The Bruins fall to 0-4. Nico falls to 0-4, and Tim Skipper falls to 0-1 after Deshaun Foster was, of course, fired. Now, again, there's a ton to talk about the head coach. I'll just briefly say this. I don't want D'Anton Lynn. I've soured on that. Don't want a guy that disrespected the program by leaving and going to USC and kind of underperforming there so far this year in terms of the defense. Don't think he's the guy. Don't think he's a character for it either. I would absolutely lose my mind if we got Jonathan Smith. I think that's the money, one to go with. Low buyout now at Michigan State after the athletic director was fired or left. So, he's a Pasadena guy. Despite Michigan State arguably being a better football program right now than UCLA, a more attractive job, I think you can maybe lure him away. The buyout is low and he's from over here. That would be my dream candidate. But let's talk about this whole media narrative about UCLA, because obviously I haven't been able to do a show since the last game. And I've just been getting pissed off reading all the things the national media is saying about UCLA. Everyone's saying that the job is not attractive, that this isn't a top 50 program. I love Josh Pate. I like Colin Cowherd, but that was a ridiculous clip acting like it's not an attractive job at all. You got people acting like this program is still in $4 billion of debt. Obviously not $4 billion, but you know what I mean. They're acting like this team is still in a load of debt as if main campus didn't bail them out. They're acting as if Chip Kelly isn't a huge reason why this program is a disaster, and acting like Martin Jarman not firing Chip Kelly when there was a Jonathan Smith, when there was a Jed Fish, when there was attractive coaching candidates available, as if that isn't to blame. Apparently, the reason UCLA is no good is because the Rose Bowl is far from campus. Apparently, it's because of NIL. And the reason why these things are wrong, in my opinion, as much as we would love UCLA to be able to beat the Oregons and the Ohio States, right? Right now, we can't beat New Mexico. We can't beat UNLV. We can't beat Northwestern. All teams that, guess what? We have more NIL than, and we have better and more talented rosters than. So all these people talking about UCLA is not talented enough and they're not going to be a good program until they commit to NIL and they commit to being talented. You know, I love how they're referencing the UCLA SC game where SC's team was worth millions and our team was worth less than $1 million. When we literally won that game. Like the things being spoken about, they don't make sense. Why are we referencing games where UCLA beat USC as the reasons why this program is not serious enough? Now, do I think the money is an issue? Yeah. I think obviously if you want to be competitive in the Big Ten, the NIL has to be there. The willingness to spend on big name coaches has to be there. But to act like that's the biggest issue, the NIL and the roster, that's not the biggest issue right now. We need the right coach, first and foremost, a coach that can at the very least understand that the absolute floor of this program must be winning all your non-conference games against these random teams like UNLV and New Mexico, these group of, those teams, and beating the Northwesterns, the Minnesotas, in my opinion, the Marylands, the Michigan States of the world. That is what we need, first and foremost, a coach who's going to get that done. But the second thing, I want to talk about this stadium debate that people have been having. UCLA needs to decide one of two things. Is this program famous, historic, storied because of the Rose Bowl and because of the uniforms? Or is it because of the actual performance of this team in past decades? Because we've got all these people saying that UCLA needs a stadium on campus and how the fans aren't going to show up and how this, the program can't be anything unless there's more people in the stadium. And that's certainly an argument. But at the same time, as someone who loves this program, tell me what the program tradition is at UCLA outside of the Rose Bowl. I'm sorry. I was at the school for 4 years. I went to every single game. There's no pre-game rituals outside of trying to bring back the Bruin walk where, the players walk off the bus and like 20 fans clap while they walk into the stadium. That's nothing. There's no same song that we sing before every kickoff. There's no halftime tradition, right? Deshaun Foster tried to play some Dr. Dre when we walked out and made that the new pregame tradition. We keep changing where the students sit every season. It used to be behind, then it was in the corner. Now it's on the sideline. And I get it. This athletic department is trying to change and do new things. None of them are working. But UCLA has to make a decision from a marketing standpoint, from a brand standpoint. Are we willing to leave the Rose Bowl? And the only thing that people think of when they think of this program, and if so, are we going to actually commit to having a brand outside of it? Because from a surface level, if you open up the college football video game, where the whole point of that video game is to lean into the traditions of every program, and it's awesome, right? If you play as Clemson, you get to see your team run down, famously run down onto the field. If it's Boston College, they rub the eagle on the way, into the stadium. If it's Notre Dame, they're hitting the famous sign. If it's Penn State, they push open the gates and the Nittany line runs out. If it's SC, God, as much as I hate them, they've got the dang horse. They've got the Trojan. When it's UCLA on the video game, what is it? The announcer says, we're at the Rose Bowl, one of the most gorgeous venues in all of college football and maybe even all of sports. And it's right. He's right. It's true. But guess what? If we're going to act like the Rose Bowl is the issue in terms of how far it is, I hated making the drive from Westwood. I hated it as much as anybody. But guess what? We better commit to having some sort of brand, some sort of program tradition outside of the Rose Bowl if we move. And I don't believe in us to have that. I really don't. Because then if you leave the Rose Bowl, what is UCLA going to be known for? I don't know. I don't know. So I think that's the part that a lot of people missing when they talk about this stadium debate is they act like, oh, all UCLA needs to do is have a stadium on campus and suddenly there's going to be 60,000 fans every game and we're going to be winning 10 games a season. No, because then what's going to be the argument to recruit if it's not playing in the Rose Bowl? It's going to be, hey, we have a great school. Hey, we have a great area that you can live in and go, beautiful campus. But that's still here right now. And there's no excitement around the program. The only consistency right now for the program is that the Rose Bowl is historic. We know how to tailgate there. It's a good time. And I just don't know how long is it going to take for UCLA to build true program traditions, build a true brand outside of having amazing uniforms if we don't play at the Rose Bowl? I don't know. You guys tell me. Because it's just one thing that's bothering me is people acting like having a stadium with 20,000 fans and at Drake Stadium is going to suddenly make everyone excited about this team again. I don't think it is. Now, if you want to commit to some stadium move in 20 years after you've been winning for the last 10, and the issue now isn't the winning, the issue isn't now the lack of program traditions, the issue truly is that people don't want to drive 45 minutes, 90 minutes with traffic to Pasadena, then cool. And, the lease doesn't run out for 2 decades anyway. So it's a conversation that doesn't need to be had for a while anyways. But I'm tired of hearing about the stadium stuff right now. What we need first and foremost is we need the right leader, and we need the right athletic director as well. It's not Martin Jarman anymore. I'm sorry. It's not. We need a new leader of the program. We need a new leader of the athletic department. We need our new chancellor to get some money out of our donors so that we can commit to a serious operation as a football program, get some wins against these floor teams that we have to beat. And if UCLA is a 7-win team every year for 3 years in a row, and you build up and you build up and you build up, then guess what? The debate was an interesting debate when it was Chip Kelly, because the team was winning 8 games, but the stadium was still empty. The recruiting class wasn't a top 25 recruiting class. That was a real debate to be had, right? That was a real debate to be had. But this team can't win a game right now. So stop talking about the stadium and stop talking about the roster. It's a top 30 roster in terms of talent. Stop talking about the NIL, because we can build a top 30 roster without the NIL. Okay? That's not the issue right now. So I need these national media people to decide, is UCLA actually an attractive job? Because if it is, then you can rip on us for losing to Northwestern. But if you're going to keep saying it's not an attractive job, then treat us like an FCS team and stop making fun of us when we lose games. I'm tired of that as well. Everyone's in here dunking on us on Twitter every time we lose. Look at UCLA. They lost to Northwestern. What an unserious program. Fine. Then call us an unserious program and give us years to rebuild. Say we're a terrible job. Say we're an unserious program. Fine. And we'll have to prove you wrong. But then don't dunk on us. Don't dunk on us. I, like all of you, love this program and think the standard should be higher. So call us a sleeping giant. That's what we are. We're a sleeping giant. We are in the best campus on planet Earth, with one of the best universities on planet Earth, with the best weather on planet Earth, and in my opinion, one of the best stadiums on planet Earth. We got to win. We got to win. We got to win. We got to win. It starts with the coach. It doesn't start with this, the roster is not good enough. It's a top 30 roster. Oh, the Rose Bowl's too far. We wouldn't fill the stadium if we were on campus either. Okay? And yes, Thunder Road says, top 30 roster, don't think so. We have no line on either side of the ball. Roster can't be that deep. True, but that's a coaching thing in my opinion, because at the end of the day, you look at everyone wants to talk about the 24/7 rankings and all that. This is a roster that continues to be called the top at least 35, 40 composite roster, composite rankings. This was a top 25 recruiting class that we were going to have next season. I don't want this. Everyone keeps acting like UCLA recruits worse than Northwestern. Right? Like, no, we don't recruit like Oregon or USC in LA, but we don't recruit like Northwestern. So come on. Of course, you want the talent to be as good as possible, but it's not a talent issue. It's not a talent issue, and it's not a freaking stadium issue. It's all about leadership. It's all about Martin Jarman not being fit and hiring people that are not fit. That's what it's about. And it's going to take a long time. It's probably going to take a winless season for people to realize that Martin's got to go. I know there's already trucks out there calling for the job, which is the right thing to do, by the way. But it's probably going to take a winless season for Martin to be gone. And it's going to take Martin being gone and a winless season for us to realize we got to change a lot of things. A lot of things. Leadership first and foremost. And then we have to decide. We have to be serious. What type of program are we? Do we have a brand outside of the Rose Bowl? Because if we don't, you better not leave the Rose Bowl, or else we will become Northwestern for good. And I don't want to become Northwestern. I really, really don't. So it's frustrating. We'll see what happens. Obviously, looking at the schedule, it doesn't get any better from here. We will lose to Penn State. We will lose at Michigan State. We will probably lose against Maryland. We will certainly lose at Indiana. I think hosting Nebraska might be a sneaky game that we can win, but we will lose at Ohio State. We will lose hosting Washington, and who knows? It'll probably be one of those games where we lose everything and then beat FC to end the season. That might be what it is. But thank you. Thunder Road says, to your point, Vanderbilt is 5-0. There's no excuse for us to be this bad. Exactly. Like, yes, is the roster talented enough to be a Big Ten contender? No. But nobody is asking for that right now. We are asking for competency, a competent coach who can take a competent roster, which this is, which we get every year. We have a competent roster every year, and win 7 games every year. If we win 7 games every year for 8 years, and then we say, hey, we need a new guy to take us to 9 and 10 wins, fine. That's what it felt like at the end of the Chip tenure. It was, hey, we had a couple of years where we were ranked and we had DTR and all that. But this guy doesn't care enough about the program to recruit enough for us to be competitive past that. And then it wasn't 7-win season. It was losing to Cal and Arizona State. And it was, okay, we got to do that, move on quickly. But let's have a floor first. Let's be a respectable program in the Big Ten first, which we certainly can do if teams like Vanderbilt are 5-0. If Indiana in a year and a half can be a college football playoff consistent team now, like what are we talking about here? Illinois is ranked and beating SC at home before we are. And we play them every year. Like, what are we doing? Let's have a floor first before people start debating if this is a program that can compete for championships in the Big Ten and we need $30 million of NIL roster building in order to do that. Enough of that. I'm not worried about having $1 million edge rusher and $1 million D tackle and $1 million linebacker. No. Beat Northwestern, beat Michigan State, beat Iowa, beat teams like that. Win 7 games. We'll have 40,000 people in the Rose Bowl. It won't be 80. It'll be 40. And then go from there. Or lose every game. We're probably going to do it this season. And if we say we don't want a floor, we want to start over and swing for the fences with a hire and build a new stadium and it's going to take 15 years to rebuild it. Cool. Guess what that'll get you? It'll get you a relevancy. And when this new college football landscape is created and you got to be one of the top 40 teams in college football in this super league that's probably going to be built, or you're not relevant, then we're toast. Right now, we need to have a floor, slowly build that floor up a little more and make sure we don't fall into irrelevancy and trying to have some huge program rebuild where you build a new stadium and you say we're going to eventually need to get to $30 million of NIL and all this stuff and go for a home run hire that's expected to go 12-0. Like, we're going to fall over. We're going to fall over and into irrelevancy. Mr. Me says UCLA had visibly better players and team speed. They held Northwestern to 17. Sunseri lost that game. I mean, I wasn't impressed with the play calling, certainly the first half. It felt like it was Nico QB draw up the middle or bust, Nico scramble or bust, Nico deep ball or bust, which is not good enough, but it also shows that there's no confidence in the offensive line to hold some blocks for the running backs, to hold blocks enough for, complex passing concepts to develop. It's one read and throw. And I don't know if Nico's good enough to make 3 reads and then throw it, but we don't need to worry about that right now because he doesn't have enough time to make 3 reads and then throw it. It's first read, throw it, or scramble, and that's it because the line stinks. And yeah, I mean, the play calling got better. I like the ability to go down, score quickly, have a nice deep ball, and then the 2-point conversion was nice. I always think, a team's ability to draw up open players on a 2-point conversion usually tells you a little bit about the scheming capabilities of an offensive coordinator. And you got a wide open guy on that 2-point conversion, which I like to see. But yeah, you start behind games and it doesn't really matter from there. You need the best offensive line on planet Earth to come from behind, when you're down 17-0 every game. And we have the worst offensive line on planet Earth. So that ain't going to happen. But we're going to wrap this one up. Shout out to everybody in here. Felt like a big rant as always. If I try to sum things up, I would say this. the national media that acts like this is a team that needs a gajillion dollars of NIL to be competent, they are wrong. It was a couple years ago that we got a bunch of transfers from Duke and stuff like that, the Jake Bobos of the world. You had, Michigan rejects like Zach Charbonnet. You had kind of, decent prospects like Logan Loya, and you were able to build a team that was ranked and competing in the Pac-12, right? We don't need this huge roster like everyone acts like. That's not the issue right now. And we don't need a new stadium to fill the seats like everyone's acting like. We just need a decent enough team with a coach. I truly think if Chip Kelly, the results that Chip Kelly was giving us for a couple of years, if he was just a guy that engaged with the fans, engaged with the media in a different way, I think that Rose Bowl would have been a lot more full. I truly think it would have, because the team was good enough for a exciting coach and exciting players to fill it. That's what I think we need. Right? I think going for this home run hire and it's swinging and missing is going to be an issue. I think if you just get like a Jonathan Smith or something, he's going to engage with the fans a little bit. He's going to build a competent, disciplined football team. People will go. People will go. They will go. And then if taking us to the next level requires, $30 million of NIL and a closer field stadium, then so be it. But for now, we can't be worried about things like that. We got to worry about having a floor of 6 or 7 wins. And I thought, a new athletic director and a competent head coach will get us there. They will get us there. So have a great rest of your weekend. Again, there's great football games other than ours on today. Loved watching USC lose. Heck of a game. Ole Miss hanging on to beat LSU. Washington gave Ohio State a run. Of course, now we've got to look very closely at this Oregon-Penn State game, which will be starting in a couple seconds. Really excited for that one. And I'm going to be watching Michigan State closely the next couple of weeks. Certainly when we play them as well, because I really, 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 really want Jonathan Smith. And if they struggle a little bit, I think that's our opportunity to go get him. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. I'll see you next week as we host Penn State at noon, 12:30 on CBS. Take care, everybody, and go Bruins, always and forever. We love this school. We love this program, and there's brighter days ahead. But we got to be patient, and we have to have a floor, if I haven't said it enough. Go Bruins. Take care, everybody.